Alright, I've noticed when I hit 70, when I finished the Stormblood level 70 quests for botany and fishing, I did not get a pop-up over here in the top left of any more quests. So maybe, I remember there was a point in time where I was doing what I call the battle classes, the 5 that I have at currently level 100, and at some point in time their their job quest stopped as well. So maybe that's what's happening. And I don't really know what happens from there aside from just you learn new recipes, you gather and fish and whatever for them, and kill things for the meat, whatever, and you just make them. But that's fine. If those quests stop, that's fine. I'm kind of curious what happens after this one, so we'll see. This is level 70, Culinarian, The Way to a Father's Heart, given to us by Raulf. Here we go. We're in Revenant's Toll. You'll recall Unzon's words about how Far Eastern cuisine developed without outside influence. From the moment he uttered them, they've been tugging at my mind. I've given the claim much thought, and I find myself disinclined to agree, and the basis for this is the very first Far Eastern dish I ever had, which Anzu made for me. Sukiyaki, it's called. It's a hearty dish of meat and vegetables simmered in a shallow pot. The moment I tasted it, I was overcome with a sense of nostalgia. Like many Ala Mhigans, I'm a war orphan. I left my homeland when I was little and remember nothing of my time there. Nothing at all, save for the taste of a certain hearty stew, and Anzu's sukiyaki was exactly like it. The similarity can't be a mere coincidence. Nay, there has to be a connection between Far Eastern and Ala Mhigan cuisine. If I can just prove it, Anzu's father might be moved to reconsider our union. There's no guarantee, of course, but for my Anzu, it's worth a try. Now, as you can see, I'm an adventurer again, free to go wherever I want, whenever I want, and I intend to go to a village in the peaks called Ala. In former times, it thrived as a trading hub with the east. There, I'm going to track down the stew of my memory and try to learn whether Ala Mhigan might have shared a culinary history with the Far East. You've already journeyed to the other side of the world for me, and I can't rightly ask any more of you, but if you're still willing to help me, then please come to Ala. Okay, this is gonna probably sound obvious, but if I remember correctly, and I don't, because Ala is not. I was thinking of. I was thinking of the Ala Mhigan Quarter, which is in the it's in the southeast corner of the locks, and it's called Ala Mhigan Quarter. So Little Ala Mhigan is where these people come from, and where Little Ala Mhigan is where they were where they fled to when the Empire took over these territories. But anyway, the very cheapest way you can probably do this would be. Well, I don't know if it's. I think it would probably be cheaper to go to. It's 120 to fly to Gridania, unless that's already your most favorite destination, which is it's mine. But I'm gonna use an Aetheryte ticket because I can, you know. Here we go now. Here we go, yo. So what's the deal? And just to the west of the Aetheryte is Raulf. You came, thank the gods. I thought the fiends in the area were fierce, but the people here might be even fiercer. But I'm ready to face them now that you're here. I can't thank you enough. Let's split up and ask the villagers about the stew. We'll meet again here when we're done. Okay. It's another one of these things where I have a bunch of red exclamation points because I'm not currently on a battle class. A cool-headed Highlander says, meat and vegetables simmered in a shallow pot. What you describe sounds a lot like buckler stew, a traditional Ala Mhigan dish. It was born when soldiers in the field took to using their bucklers in place of pots, cooking meat in them with wine and various seasonings. It was popular in the past, but under imperial rule it became a rare indulgence. Ill-mannered Mikote. Female? Male? I think female. Don't care much for stews, sorry. If you ask me, the only way to cook meat is to roast it to a crisp. Well done. Okay, that's your thing. And a hardened Highlander. Stew, does it look like I know anything about Swivin stews? What's Swivin? Does it look like I know anything about Swivin stews? I just eat whatever the hell's put in front of me. Alright. Okay, we have Raulf to continue the quest. I was responding to somebody in the free company who was talking about, like, are Sage and Scholar similar? And they're both shield healers, but in my, I think at this point in time, possibly expert or at least well-seasoned experience, Sage is way easier than Scholar. I have a Scholar at level like 56-ish, and there was a time when just if the tank pulls wall to wall, if you're familiar with that term, it's usually for trash mobs. Scholar was going and having a very hard time keeping him alive, whereas Sage, I don't remember having that problem as much necessarily. This person is saying that they never really found Scholar healing to be difficult, but... I had no luck, Mercy. No one I spoke with knew anything about my stew. I explained what I have heard. Buckler stew. Yes, that was its name. Damn, but even your investigative skills are first rate. I'm happy to say, though, that my own inquiries weren't completely fruitless either. I managed to track down a fellow who's versed in history. Let's go and ask him what he knows about about trade between Ala Mhigan and Doma. Oh, what are they called? Helmeted history lover. I do know some few things about our nation's history, owing to my time working at the royal palace. What is it that you wish to know? I explain why I'm here. 'Tis true Ala Mhigan traded with nations to the east prior to imperial rule, but as far as I'm aware, this extended only as far as the Near East, to Razat-Han. So, there was no contact between us and Doma? None at all? Says Raulf. No, even if it isn't direct, there has to be some sort of connection. For example, Razat-Han could have been a waypoint for the dish. But if I want to verify this, I'm going to have to go all the way over there. Perhaps you needn't go so far, for there's a Hanish fellow among us who came to Eorzea years ago. You could try asking him first. I saw him heading outside the village a short while ago. Elderly as he is, he can't have gone far. Thank you. Mercy, let's go and look for this man. Alright, we found Raulf to the northwest a bit. There's no sign of him. Wah! Help! Somebody! Says an elderly voice. Oh, shite, he's in trouble. I'm not in a battle spec. Anyway, we fly northwest some more. Yeah, okay. I'm done. I'm done with that conversation. We see Raulf. There are two... What the fuck are these? These are possibly bird things of some kind? I don't even know, dude, but like there's two dead birds. Raulf is like... Oh, right, he's the adventurer. That's right. So he's the one hand down, one knee down, with a Hanish elder standing and seemingly protected. Cutscene. Still got it. Oh, what little I had, at any rate. Would have been a stroll through the woods for you, but I can't let you do all the work. You've done more than your fair share already. Says to me. Besides, I wanted to show that I'm not completely hopeless. None of these quests are supposed to require me to do any battle. Like, that's the whole point of these crafting and gathering jobs. They do not require you to fight. So, why he would ever mention me possibly being the one to kill these glowing red-eyed bird things is whatever. To owe you my life, I was so focused on my harvesting, I didn't notice the kikrin coming. Those are kikrin? They have feathers. Whatever. You look a mite pale, lad. Are you hurt? Just my bones and organs. I'm already on the mend, I assure you. More importantly, I take it you're the gentleman who came from Rods at Han. I'm sorry if this seems sudden, but while you were still there, did you ever hear about a dish called buckler stew? Hear about it? I love the stuff. Ever since traders brought it over from Ala Mhigan, it's been an enduring favorite in my homeland. As a matter of fact, it's the reason I came to be here, though I won't bore you with the details. So it was introduced to Rods at Han after all. Tell me, do you know if buckler stew also made its way to Doma? That it did, and it's a tale all know well. A Doman merchant journeyed to Rods at Han to buy spices, you see, and chanced to sample the stew. It was love at first taste. So enamored was he of it, he decided to open a restaurant back at home and started buying up all the shallow pots he could find. Alas, these pots proved too heavy to take back, and so he left them all at the pier and said that he'd make do with spades. Spades, you say? The name sukiyaki can be translated as spade grill, and it's said to come from the fact that you grill the meat on a spade. Ha! I knew there was a connection. Sukiyaki, so that's what they call it. Well, by whatever name it's known, all this talk has given me a fierce hunger for it. There's naught for it but to make some right now. You're going to make buckler stew? Would you mind teaching me the recipe, and tell me more about its spread to the Far East? Oh, you'd indulge this old man with your company? Well, if you insist, who am I to argue? Come along then, and I'll tell you whatever you want to know. He gives a bow. He being Raulf. I can take it from here, Mercy. Leave the learning to me. I'll join you back at Revenant's Toll when I'm done. Thanks again for all your help. $401. I've used enough tickets, I think. I'll pay the $401. Revenant's Toll, and the rest will follow. Just guard your whole... Sorry. Oh no. Yeah. Anyway. Back at Revenant's Toll, Raulf has redonned his culinarian garb. Ah, mercy, perfect timing. I've just returned myself with the recipe for buckler stew freshly etched into my noggin. I begged Miss Rowena for the use of my old kitchen, and surprisingly she allowed it. 12 bless her. With that, I can set about making the buckler stew in order to win as Anzu's father over. Here, I have one last favor to ask of you, my friend. I need you to prepare a serving of Doman sukiyaki. It's a relatively simple affair. You take meat and vegetables and simmer them in a broth of dashi and Far Eastern condiments. Though I needn't remind you that Far Eastern cuisine can be deceptive in its simplicity. Anyway, here's all the ingredients you need, and Poppin has more set aside. If I should fail. My future with Anzu and as a culinarian both ride on our success. Please make me the best Doman sukiyaki you can. Once again, it is in the special recipes under class. No HQ available. Let's get on it. And again, my gear is pretty good. I have level 74 gear. I have added a fair number of 10 and 11 controls and craftsmanships. Although my legs and feet are lacking. Was I supposed to do that and I just didn't do it? Yeah, whatever, it's fine. Anyway. Yeah, let's get to it. So, I have a choice of... Wait, what's this? Oh, I got a new skill. That's right. Delicate Synthesis. Increases both progress and quality. Interesting. At the cost of 32 crafting points. Interesting. I don't know. It only uses one. So it's 100% efficiency for both of those things. Interesting. Anyway, we get 567 quality from a muscle memory. Careful synth would give us 283, and I think I would only need. Yeah, if I popped veneration and did 3 careful synths, I would be capped. So I'm not worried about that. I'm also really not super worried about quality. But it's like at a point where why not just use reflect and get the 300%. Like I really am not worried at all about quality. I got it so many different ways. So we'll do a reflect for 300% efficiency. Sorry, I'm not worried about progress. I'm also not worried about quality, but I'm just gonna do reflect because I can. That brought us to 810. I did not get a proc of precise touch, so I will do innovation rotation. I only need like 1170 more, so quality that is. I believe I'll get it within at most 3 actions. So basic touch, standard because I didn't get a proc. And that reaches us to 96. So this is where I could do a delicate synth to get a little bit of. It would give us the efficiency I need to reach HQ status, and also it would give me. Actually, you know what I would do here? I would do tricks of the trade. Yeah, I like this actually. Veneration. I lost my innovation, but I didn't need it. I'm gonna delicate synth now. Just for the heck of it. That was fun. And yeah. Groundwork will cap us easy. 850. It's so stupid. Wait, would anything else cap us? I need less than 500. The answer is new, except for obviously rapid synth, but I'll just do a groundwork. You could do two basic synthesis would work, and it wouldn't cost any CP. So if you're low on CP at this point, which it's kind of sad that you would be, you should get better gear. That'll do you out, but groundwork. Cool. And we will turn in the quest to Raulf. Making the buckler stew is strangely comforting. The sight, the smell, even the sound. They take me back to bygone days. But to get back to the present day, how's the Doman Sukiyaki coming along? Buddy, do you even have to ask? Did I get any experience points for that? Nope. Well, a mere waft is enough to tell me this sukiyaki is in a class of its own, and my buckler stew is as ready as it'll ever be. Come, let's serve them to Anzu and her father on the terrace. Cutscene. Excuse me again. Unzan had like kind of cocked his head at it a bit, and then, is this a joke? In our culture, sukiyaki is shared only between family and dear friends. You are neither. If you think this will win my favor, you are sadly mistaken. Now, please allow me to explain. Mercy made the sukiyaki while I made a different type of stew. Different, I say, however. He's pausing. The cutscene slowly fades to black, but then it zooms in on the dishes that have been made. What is this? It resembles sukiyaki, yet it appears not to be Far Eastern. There's another pot made from wood, but it's a pot nonetheless. It has been placed on the table as well. That's because it's a traditional Ala Mhigan stew. If it please you, please sample and compare it with the sukiyaki. An Ala Mhigan stew, you say? I know not what you are playing at, but the aroma is undeniably appetizing. Oh, very well. He looks to his daughter and she nods with a little bit of a smile on her face, but the old man is still trying not to be nice, basically. He starts to dig in. He's chewing. He's surprised. By the kami, not only do they look alike, they also taste alike. But the ingredients, they are different, are they not? You're right, Father. There may be subtle differences, but no matter how you look at it, this stew is sukiyaki. What is the meaning of this? Did sukiyaki somehow find its way to Ala Mhigan? And he shakes his head no. No, Unzan-san, it's the opposite. It's the Ala Mhigan dish, buckler stew, that found its way to the Far East and eventually became sukiyaki. Shock from Anzu. Though Ala Mhigan and Doma had no common history, they had a common trading partner in the Near East. Originating in my homeland, the buckler stew first crossed the seas to Razat Han. From there it crossed the seas once more to Doma, where it was recreated using local ingredients to become sukiyaki. The master chef father is looking down at the dishes. It must be noted that this took place at a relatively recent period in Doma's long history. Up to that point, meat was predominantly grilled to harness their natural flavors, or minced and used in dumplings. While stews weren't uncommon, they were reserved mainly for seafood, but with sukiyaki's arrival, new possibilities blossomed for meat dishes. Father, you told me that Far Eastern cuisine owes its greatness to the fact that it developed free of outside influence, but it owes its greatness no less to what it adopted from other cultures. The old man closes his eyes, thinking. Anzu looks on, eyes wide open. We get another close-up of either the sukiyaki or the buckler stew, whatever, I don't know. And Unzan smiles. Why are you still standing there? Sit down and join us ere the food gets cold. Anzu smiles, eyes warming. Raulf and I nod to each other, and we both take a seat. And cutscene slowly fades to black. We're all at the table, enjoying the food, having a conversation. Unzan seems to finally be warmed up to everything. He's enjoying the food very much. I'm chit-chatting, having a good time. I forgot I could just turn my hat off. But I think that works across all of your classes. You can't just turn it off for one class, but turn it on for others and just have it set like that. Maybe I'm wrong. I might try, but I don't know. I don't know how I'll repay you, Mercy. Thanks to you, I've managed to do the impossible and win over Unzan. He finally approves of me and Anzu, and we plan to be bonded at the earliest opportunity. I'm going to resume my post at the cafe, serving Far Eastern dishes, of course, and hang up my adventurer's hat for good. I suppose you'll continue both adventuring and cooking, you're correct, and I don't doubt you'll keep on succeeding at both. But no matter how high you climb or how far you roam, know that you're always welcome here. I nod. He nods back. Cutscene fades to black. The way to a father's heart is complete. 2,889,000 experience points, and we also get, without having to choose, craftsmanship plus 11, CP plus 6, control plus 7, materia. The fabric of our lives. Sorry. And we find out that for all 3 of the jobs, crafting and gathering, that I have leveled up to 70, I do not have a follow-up quest. So we will have to figure out if there are any more quests to be had. What's interesting, I got delicate synthesis. Oh, I hit level 76. Okay, I'm an idiot. Don't worry about it. You actually should not have groundwork for doing these quests, so pardon me for that. But groundwork just really takes the place, in my experience, of 2 careful synthesis. In theory, though, if you only have 10 durability left, I think you should... No, wait. You can't... Yeah. Groundwork is not as good when you only have 10 durability, so don't do that. Just keep doing careful synth. Yeah. Anywho, I'll figure out if there are further quests, or if you're just expected to, like... Because, okay, in levels 80 to 90, I believe, you are introduced to Old Charlian, and eventually get to Mare Lamentorum, Sea of Stars, that kind of stuff. And you get access to... I don't know how to find it. Is it world? Hold on. I don't think you can get... You can't click on it on a map, as far as I know. But via Mare Lamentorum, specifically Best Ways of Burrow, there's a quest you have to do from Old Charlian that gets you access to this moon site where it's only really for crafters and gatherers. And there's a bunch of stuff you can do there, and you can buy gear all the way up to level, gear level 100. Actually, you can even buy gear starting, I think it would be like 1 to 20, and then 21 to 40. I think it has five sections there. So you can buy all the gear you would ever need for crafting and gathering there. I do say buy the gear. I'm assuming there's also possibly a way to... Like, collectibles continue on too. So you can continue using crafter and collector scripts. Sorry, crafter and gatherer scripts to buy things you might need along the way. I don't know anything about orange gatherer script or crafter script, or anything about white crafters or gatherer script. Those will probably come later as well. I have heard about sky builders scripts, but I don't really know much about them. But I think that they are a good way to get cordials, like the upgraded, like the highest level cordials you can get. But yeah, I don't really know. I gotta do my daily stuff. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for whatever of mine you watch next. Bye bye for now.